Good afternoon, everyone. So this weekend we've been invited for a braai and we are in charge of bringing dessert. It's 12 of us, so I've decided to make, everyone loves chocolate. You have to go with what you think people would like most, and I think chocolate is a good start. So I've made South African inspired Turkish cake. How about that? This is called in English would be the crying cake. The reason why it's called a crying cake is because the ganache on top is supposed to run onto the sides and it looks like it's crying. But I didn't do that. And my South African inspired comes from the peppermint crisp tart. And chocolate and mint go very well together. So it's basically a very moist chocolate base with a minty cream and chocolate ganache, because let's not forget that I'm French, so everything has to have some, French touch, and the chocolate ganache is my French touch. The middle one, the minty cream, is my South African inspired, peppermint crisp. So it's got a minty flavored cream, and then the bottom one being the only Turkish thing that I kept, but it's very, very decadent and very, very nice. So this is what I'm doing for tomorrow. Let's have a look how we do that, and then I'll see you later for the taste. Okay, for the cake batter, first I mixed 3 eggs and 150 grams of sugar until fluffy and pale yellow. Then I added 200 milliliter of milk along with 40 grams of butter, melted butter please, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, a pinch of salt, 30 grams of cocoa powder, sifted, along with 190 grams of cake flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, then you mix everything until well combined. You don't want pockets of flour that hasn't been mixed together. Okay, then you put in your greased pan and you're going to bake it for 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Make sure your oven is preheated. Don't put your cake batter in a cold oven, please. Okay, then you bake it for 20 minutes. I'm glad I'm in front of the camera for that one. Once your cake is baked, just as it comes out of the oven, poke holes in it and you're going to put in a mix that you've made of 200 milliliter of milk and 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder that you've sifted into it. So it's basically chocolate milk that you put over while your cake is warm, please. And then you put your cake in the fridge because it needs to be completely cold before you can put the next step on, which is this one, and it's whipped cream. Well, I'm whipping cream with 500 ml of cream, heavy cream, and 50 grams of icing sugar. I've also put a teaspoon of mint essence. Okay, and then that's it. You put it over nicely. Make sure your cake is completely cold. Okay, don't be impatient, otherwise your cream is going to melt. And then once this is done, you put your cream in the fridge, your cake in the fridge, for the cream to set before you put the chocolate ganache on top. For your dark chocolate ganache, you bring to the boil 250 milliliter of cream, and then you're going to pour that over 200 grams of dark chocolate. Okay, and then you leave it to rest for a minute or two, and then you're going to mix until you get a ganache. Okay, once your ganache has come together, just make sure you let it cool down first before you put it over your cream, and then you just spread it all over your cake. And you're going to have to let it all set in the fridge for at least 4 hours. I made mine the day before, so it's nice and set, for by the time we need it. And then that's it, really. And all you need to do now is enjoy. I just sprinkled a few cocoa nibs on top to make it look even nicer.